Welcome to the Bodega Cat Podcast with Christina Ng. Over the next hour, you'll hear from guest experts from a variety of different backgrounds, with specialties pertaining to pets and humans alike. Now, here is Christina.
Hi, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. This is the Bodega Cat Podcast, and my name is Christina. I'll be your host today. Today, we have a very special guest. Her name is Lital Cohen, not related to the singer Leonard Cohen, although she wishes she was, but maybe in a past life, right? So Lital is an intuitive soul, deeply connected to the healing power of music and the subtle energies of the universe. Since childhood, she has been drawn to the enchanting melodies that speak to the depths of the soul. Music has been her constant companion, guiding her through life's journey with its soothing rhythm and heartfelt lyrics. As an intuitive healer, Lital specializes in sound baths, Reiki energy healing, and working with biofrequency and vibration. She harnesses the transformative power of sound and energy to create personalized one-on-one or group sessions tailored to meet the unique needs of each individual. Whether it's for events, funerals, birthdays, or intimate gatherings, she offers a sacred space for healing and renewal. In addition to sound baths and Reiki, Lital also works with biofield energy to restore balance and harmony to mind, body, and spirit. Her sessions are a blend of intuitive guidance, energy healing, and musical exploration, designed to uplift the soul and ignite the spirit. When she's not immersed in the world of healing and music, you can find her communing with nature, practicing yoga, or indulging in a good book. She believes in the power of authenticity and the beauty of human connection. Lital invites you on this journey of self-discovery and healing as she explores the transformative power of sound, energy, and intuition together with you. Well, first of all, thank you so much, Lital, for coming to the podcast and allowing me to interview you. We first connected, you sent an email to all the EE System Center owners, inviting them regarding your services, and I was one of the one that's responded. So that was kind of pretty cool because I came from a musical background. I don't do it anymore, but I have really come to appreciate music and the way music uplifts you. Certain music, the right kind of music, right, kind of uplifts you to the spiritual level, and I just love it, love it, love it, love it. So thank you for being here.
I'm so grateful to be here. Thank you so much. And yes, music is a way of healing, a way of connecting. I'm so blessed to have this tool, even just not the music and melodies, but also the frequency that comes from samba, gongs, and all the other instruments that we use.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Yeah. I'm kind of the oddball in the family. I grew up with classical music, and I just love the Gregorian chants. I can just sit and listen to those all day long. So
yeah, chants are amazing. I'm now chanting the Gataya chants, the Om Bu. Yeah, I don't know if you know that. Om Bu Bhuva Svaha.
Oh yeah. Yes.
Yeah. And I found that
Dio Yonat Fakchodaya.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's one of my favorites. We do a lot too. We I have a lot of favorite chants. The Lakshmi chant is something I do every day for prosperity and wealth. And Om Mani Padme Om is another one of my favorite that comes from the lineage of Buddha Guan Yin.
Yes.
The mercy, Buddha of Mercy of Compassion, which is where my spiritual lineage comes from. So, yeah, it's beautiful. I could do it all day long.
Yeah, isn't it? It's amazing how the mantra can implement into your mind. And
Yes.
sometimes I wake up with the same mantra that I'm repeating to myself. Sometimes it just repeats itself on automatic. I don't even have to, say the mantra. It's already there in my mind. and
Yes.
it gives like a very calming and soothing sensation.
Yes, it's very transformative, isn't it? Once
Yes.
you kind of get into it. Yeah. Yeah. Wow. We should probably do a podcast just on mantras.
Oh my God, I can talk about some mantras all day long.
introduce introduce people to mantras.
Oh, I can't even stop raving about even just the It
Oh
just,
yes.
like become is just the best mantra that someone who is a beginner can start with. And that itself is a healing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It's beautiful. Yeah, Om is one of my favorite too, because what it does, it cleans out your energy body and it transmutes actually your negative energy to positive energy, to higher vibrational energy. It's absolutely beautiful. Yeah.
Yep. That's true.
Well, I know we kind of went on a tangent, but a fun tangent, but I wanted to start from the beginning to kind
Of
of
course.
talk a little bit about how you got started. I know when we first spoke a couple months ago, you told me a little story about your dad and the
Yes.
kitchen table, and I just love that
Yes.
story. If you can kind of
Yes.
recount that, and then kind of share a little bit how you started on this journey and why music in particular. I know you kind of talked a little bit about your passion about it, but everybody has their own specialties, and you are certainly, the music is certainly one of them. So go ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So my dad is a musician, and he used to sing in a band. And every Friday night, we used to sit in a table, and he would bring the crystals glasses. And we used to pour a little bit of water, and everybody gets water a little bit on the side. And we used to just sing and play with that, with the crystal glasses. And we were having so much fun. And we've been doing this since I was, I don't know, maybe 6, 7, 8, 9, until maybe 14. And then I was like, that's it, enough. But I always was drawn to music. I always felt music that was my guidance, was my pillow if I needed, was my everything, my happiness. My life was always evolved around music. I was also a ballerina, and so I used to spend most of my days in a studio listening to classical music all the time. So I was always immersed with music, and I even worked in a radio station back in Israel. So everything with me, it's always involved with music, which I dearly enjoy. And I think it was 2016 or 17. That's when I was first introduced to sound bath. I remember I was like, what is sound bath? But before I forget, I went to a dinner party, and every time I used to go to dinner, I used to show off with my skill. And I used to bring the crystal, the glasses, and I used to start playing with them, and everybody was impressed. So I was like, yeah, it is something like a nice gig that I used to love to do. And I remember someone came to me and said, there are actually big balls that you can see, you can play with them, and people play with those balls. And I'm like, what the hell is he talking about? It went through my mind. I'm like, no, I don't understand what he was saying. I didn't ask, but I was just like, wow, interesting. And then in 2017, something around, I can't really remember exactly, I went to the first sound bath. And I thought to myself, what is a sound bath? Am I going to be in water? And there's going to be sound underneath water? What do they mean? And here we go. I go to the sound bath, and I'm like, wow, this is just amazing. What is this? And then I got my first ball, and I started singing for myself, and I was hooked on that ball. But I was like, okay, now I need more notes. I need more. I need something else. I need more. And then I bought the whole set and another set, and then I took class. And it was a beautiful workshop. It was a very immersive and intense workshop where we studied all the frequencies and the fundamental of the frequencies and how they go about and what do they do to the body and how they serve us and how to blend them with harmonious and with a different octave. And basically, I delved deep into all of this sound and frequencies and then healing. And it's just, yeah, it speaks to my soul. I used to play just for myself, just for the house, to infuse my water, to infuse my creams, anything that I felt like I want to infuse with. I would bring it into the center and I would play and play and play. And we're like, okay, now I can eat, now I can drink. Sometimes I do it these days, but before it was like a ritual. And I played for my friends and I played for small groups. At the time, I didn't do it for money. I was just doing it like for the pleasure, for fun, you know. And then all of a sudden, it's just people started calling me for events and gathering and retreat center. And I'm like, okay, this is nice. This is beautiful. A year ago, I think it was June, yes, of 23, I went myself to the EC system with sound baths.
So they had the sound bath in the EE system. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And that experience was just another level. Another level. And believe me when I say another level, because I'm receiving sound bath myself from my colleagues, from friends, or when I teach sound bath. So I know how sound bath feel, and I know that each and every time it feels different. But with the EE system, something kicked in, as if the EE system made a very clear pathway for the vibration and frequency to speak inside, even deeper, in a cellular level. It was just unbelievable experience. I remember I stepped out and I thought to myself, first of all, how I'm going to drive home? And second, what was that? I remember I called my friend and I was like, I can't explain it to you, but it's just the feeling. And she's like, Lee, you have done sound bath for 2-3 hours in a row. And I'm like, no. This is different in so many levels that I cannot comprehend because my body doesn't give me the language to explain the sensation and the feeling. And I remember even that night, I just slept like I've never slept in my life. And as you know, I told you before we went to the podcast, I suffer from high toxicity from a mold. And even though I'm always fatigued and wasn't feeling well, even back then, because I was having lots of seizures, I have flares up. I remember I did not have any heart palpitation. I did not have any anxiety. I did not have any, my blood pressure was just, it was a blessing. So, and then I was so thrilled about it. I was like, oh my God, everyone who has the EE system should implement those frequencies and sound healing because it feels like it has to go together. It, for some reason, it just makes the experience more powerful. So yeah, I was so blessed to experience such a powerful and intense session.
That is such a beautiful story. So for my audience who have, I've talked about the EE system before in my other podcast, but just to kind of recap for my audience, the EE system is also known as the Energy Enhancement System. It was developed by a scientist called Dr. Sandra Rose Michael, and she based it on Nikola Tesla's research. And my experience with the EE system is that it really taps into the higher dimensional frequency, which I don't think a lot of people talk about because a lot of people go to these centers, and there's over about 400 centers worldwide, and people go for many different reasons, but mostly for physical ailments. So people who have cancer, arthritis, Lyme's disease, things like that, go into the system, and they have a lot of benefits from their testimonials from it. But I think, with the EE system, though, it also taps into higher dimensional frequencies. So I've had clients that come in who have downloads just being in the room, and writing poems, and getting a lot of aha moments about about how the universe works, and things like that. A lot of wisdom that comes in. I've had people who talk about getting healed from, pain that they haven't really thought of before, or tumors that they haven't really noticed before, which was amazing, I think. But I think the higher frequency, the spiritual energy is important, because I think really Dr. Sandra Rose Michael really infused or programmed a lot of that in there, in the system. And that's why I love the system so much, because it really targets so many levels, from the physical, emotional, and mental, and psychological, and spiritual aspect, which is, I think, very important, the spiritual aspect. So yeah, that's a beautiful story that you just shared, Lital. Thank you so much for that.
Of course. Yeah, and I wanted to add that also, being in there, because I have done another session, but I was playing at your retreat center, and also in another clinic, and I wanted to say that I did feel very, very calm throughout the day, even though I wasn't the one that actually received it. And I thought to myself, I remember when I left your clinic, was my chakras aligned or cleared? Or, it went through my mind like, wait a minute, maybe it helps also tune into the chakras as well, because we're so relaxed. And now that you're telling me that, it makes so much sense. Now I understand what it helps me understand what I'm sensing when I'm in the EE system even better. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't doubt that, aligning your chakra system. My background is studying the chakras and how they work, and how they affect our physical and mental, emotional body. So for the EE system to align your chakra, it just makes a lot of sense, because you hear people with addiction backgrounds talk about being in the system and not having that urge anymore to get that drink, or, smoke that whatever. So yeah, I think it's very powerful. I don't think that I don't think the public really understands fully. Even I don't understand fully how the system works, but I know that it works. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So when did you do the sound bath full time, or are you doing it full time?
The EE system, or just
just your sound bath.
So I'm doing sound bath. I started, I think, in 2019. It was just for my friends. And 2020, I started playing sound bath for events, retreats. Now I've had to stop in 2022. And then 23, I came back to it. And now, since 23 and now on, I'm playing every Friday at the retreat center, wellness center, and sometimes my own events, and sometimes collaboration with, various like, let's say this Saturday we're having a chanting LA. We're doing together sound bath and chanting. So yeah, it's every time I'm collaborating with different events and gathering. But I do sound bath probably 4 times a week. Yeah, I would say so.
Wow, that's awesome. That's awesome. Now, I know you travel a lot. Do you travel just in California or or other countries or other states? I know that's a lot of things to carry with your beautiful crystal bowls.
So no, I haven't traveled out the state, even though very synchronicity today, I was asked to come to Madrid and Greek.
Oh, wow.
For sound bath, but I'm like, I don't know how that's gonna happen because I have, as you saw, right? I have a lot of equipment and most of them are very fragile. So I have to look into that, how, or maybe I should buy something else. I don't know. I'm still, I just received this message today morning, so I don't know yet, but I have been traveling to Sedona with my sound, Joshua Tree. I do there a lot of sound events in Mount Shasta. Yeah, those are usually the places that I'm going and went to do events. But yeah, that's it. And beautiful LA.
Wow, it's almost like those equipments are beautiful, by the way. Before I forget, I wanted to thank you for the private session that you did in my center. And it's just out of this world. You just took me to a whole different level. And I want to thank you for that. It's beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. Yeah. So I think, if you're going to be traveling with your crystal bowls, you probably need a entourage of people, like traveling with those, like the Rolling Stones, right, or something like that.
Something like that. Something like that.
Something like
sometimes
that.
it's funny because when I go to events, right, and it's a big event, I usually bring people because I can't, it's just too much. And in your center, I only put that much as I could, but I have plenty more. And it's heavy. It is heavy and it is fragile, and to carry it from place to place. So sometimes, yes, I do bring like people to come and help me set up and put it back. And yeah, so it's kind of like I always feel like, oh, my entourage is with me.
Yeah, it takes a village. That's awesome. So I know in your website, besides sound bath, you also do Reiki and yoga. You want to talk a little bit about that? I don't know if that's something you offer.
Yes, of course. I love Reiki. I love giving out Reiki. I think everyone, can have this within themselves if they allow this energy to come. It's just a way for me of tapping into my divinity and to receive this energy as a channeled energy. And for me, it took time to, because I had to learn how to quiet the mind and to balance my center and to just, be in this state of acceptance, of, neutral state. And it was through meditations. And then I've done Reiki. I forgot oh my God, why did I forget the name? Oh my God. But it's the one with Yeshua. So my instructor, she was like, do you want to do the also thing? And then Yeshua, and I said, no, I relate to Yeshua more, please. And then she did the initiation, and it was wonderful. I used to use it just for myself and my dogs, because I was like, I don't know if I want to use it for someone else. I just feel like, I'll do it for myself. And again, my friends. And when I started getting feedback and my friends were like, it's a waste of time not, to have something like that and not to share it. And, I felt very weird. I was like, no, I don't know if this is something I want to, give out. I don't feel comfortable doing that. It's like, no, you have to. And then another friend and another friend. And I think one of my friends was very, very ill. And I did I did the Reiki with tuning forks. That's the biofield. And instantly the next morning, she's like, there was like a cloud around my head and I couldn't walk. She was very, very tired and exhausted. And she's like, now I got my energy back. And I'm like, you know what? Maybe it is something that I need to share with others. And yeah, so this is like, and again, just because I love sound and frequency and I believe in that very much, and also in crystals, I implement sometimes crystals and sometimes the biofield, which are the tuning forks, just to open up, the meridian system. And I truly believe that this combination helps even more. But it's either way. It could be only the Reiki or only biofield, but I love implementing both with the crystals together. It's just, yeah.
So when you said Yeshua, are you talking about Usui Reiki?
Usui Reiki, but my instructor, she did it with Yeshua, Jesus activation. Yeah, the initiation was with Yeshua.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
Yeshua was a very powerful healer, master healer.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
And when I do healing, we invoke him as Yeshua, Rabbi Yeshua Bar Miriam. He was a rabbi.
Nice. Exactly.
And then Yeshua was his, I think Aramaic name when he was on earth in the physical body. And then Bar Miriam, son of Mary. So that was his healing name that we invoked.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's beautiful. Thank you for reminding me that. But that's the way to invoke him.
Yeah,
that's the right way. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Not a lot of people knows that, by the way.
True, that's true. Yeah. And another little fun fact is that Usui, the person who founded Usui Reiki, I think he has the same teacher as my teacher, pranic healing teacher, Master Choa Koksui. And their teacher is Buddha, I think it's Padmasambhava. Which is he brought he brought Buddhism from, I think, India to Tibet and spread the Buddhism in Tibet there. So, and my teacher, Master Choa, he received his teachings from the teacher. His teacher was in non-physical form. So he got the download telepathically. Yeah. And then he was able to, he worked with a lot of clairvoyant people to come up with like a recipe for energy. So he's a very interesting guy. He's no longer in the body. He passed in 2007, but his teaching really influenced a lot of people worldwide. So yeah, thank you, Master Choa. Anyways, I thought that was interesting that they had the same teacher. So Usui Reiki and pranic healing are like cousins.
Yes.
Which is
that's true.
Yeah. So anyways, are there any topics that you wanted to touch on, that you wanted to share any for our audience here?
The only thing that I would share to your audience is to maybe open up to those beautiful frequencies and modalities that are there, like the EE system. Even if you don't have any healing concerns, but just to tap into your own self and to explore and to see what it can bring to you. We have so many tools out there, and you know, it's for a reason that we have them. Yeah, so that's all.
Yeah, I think it's amazing that a lot of people focus on the negative. This is not good. The world is going downhill and all that stuff.
Oh no!
But when you look at all the tools that we have at our disposal that helps us bring our energy and vibrations up, it's just amazing. I think you just have to be more aware of it and be more open to it. Yeah.
Exactly. Yes. Yep.
So hopefully, with education and a lot of these podcasts and podcasts like this, people will be more aware and be more educated.
And open.
And open. Yeah. Yeah. So in your practice, have you seen any people with ailments or diseases that come, and any testimonials about how they feel afterwards?
Yes. So what I didn't mention is that I do also hypnotherapy, this QHHT, quantum healing hypnosis.
That's from
Dolores Cannon.
Dolores Cannon, yes.
Yes, and I use it sometimes when I do healing when someone has cancer or any other illnesses. And just to pinpoint and to understand, on the highest level, where is it coming from? Why is it showing up on a soul level? And I've seen that sound, frequency, and all of that together are helping. I do not work with people who are getting treatment, chemo treatment,
chemotherapy treatment.
Chemotherapy. It's not suitable to the frequencies when someone is getting chemo treatment. But I do work with people before or after, and this has been a game changer for them. I think the most probably the effect that it does, it probably relaxes and the nervous system, and it lets the body work, because when we're so much stress, our adrenaline, our nervous system, our immune system is so compromised that even if somebody will eat alkaline food or will do anything that he can to support himself, if that is not addressed, there is imbalance. The body has to come into the harmonious state in order for one thing to work. And then little by little, everything starts to come in place. And once the nervous system and the immune system are working well, when the body feels more relaxed, that's where the healing can happen. And I see that. I can see how, people tell me how it's coming into effect. And it's amazing because, we never knew about these things. And we thought that, okay, only if I'm going to eat good, then I'm good. And it doesn't work. And you tell us, why it doesn't work? Because again, stress, so how will that work? The food become poison to the body. There is nothing that the food can support inside a poisoned body. If the body is so much poisoned from stress, and the nervous system is compromised, and the immune system is barely functioning, the body just the food doesn't do anything. It just feels to nourish our body, to make us feel full, but it doesn't really makes the healing work inside. It's just like a stagnant energy. That's how I feel. And I feel like if a person really takes 1-2 steps forward to take care of relaxing the body through meditation, through sound, EE system, anything that's out there, with incorporating that with good food, good nutrition, and yoga or whatever activity that suits them, I think that's when this healing can start. That's where something can move inside, and the detox can actually happen. And me myself, I'm going through that right now, so I totally understand it on myself, because I'm high toxicated right now with high mold, so very toxicity. The range is red, not on the orange, not on the green. It just went to extremely red. So I'm glad that I have those tools. I'm glad that I know what to do. I'm glad that, I was trained most of my life for, to help other people. And now I can actually implement it into myself. But nevertheless, it's something that not because you learned, you can also go and take service from other, or you can read books, or like podcasts like this can help you really, get curious about it and read more about how you can improve your health. And again, to support ourselves with life itself, which we are tremendously in stress all day long, that itself can cause lots of illnesses. So even if you don't have mold, or you don't have cancer, or you don't have any immune disease, but taking care of your body in such ways, it's the best remedy, because you can also prevent what's to come. So it's really, and I'm truly glad that, because I've been too exposed to mold from what the doctors think, more than 5-7 years. So I'm not supposed to be here right now talking to you.
Well, you're meant to be here, so
you see. But I'm guessing that all the meditations, all the things that I have been doing, I guess this is what kept me alive, and now I just need to deal with removing the toxin. So this is what I'm trying. This is my point that I'm trying to say, that if a person has mold for so many years, probably if he doesn't take off the mental body, causal body, the emotions, it gets over, just go. And who knows, like my doctor says, like, I don't know how you're still alive, but but it's like, wow, I've never, he never seen such a high amount of mold in someone that still walks, do everything, function.
Wow. Healing is a journey, isn't it? It's like a never-ending journey, in my opinion.
It's a never-ending journey. I mean, I would never in million will think that I will have, mold or anything like that. But here we go. I have it, and now I have to deal with it. And and we'll see how that goes. But I'm very certain that will be over in no time. I know that. I have a strong belief system that now that I know what it is, I can just clear it and fix it and heal it in no time.
Yeah. At some point, you want to remove yourself from the environment.
For sure.
But this is a good test for you, isn't it, to kind of put your skills into practice?
This is exactly what I'm feeling. Like, wow, like, do I need to...
Yeah, universe is like saying, okay, Lital, we need to sharpen your skills here for a little bit.
Exactly. That's exactly what I'm thinking. I'm like, okay, universe, I can do it. No worries, with pleasure. I'll show you how it's done.
Yeah, right. How are your little kitties doing with the mold situation, though? I'm just curious.
So I am so glad that I never let them inside the bathroom.
Oh, okay.
And the mold is in the bathroom. It's not in my bedroom, and it's not in my living room. So I am so glad that I kept them out from the bathroom. Yeah. So I don't see that they have anything, going on there. This seems very, very happy and energetic. But I kind of like consulted with professionals about that, and they say no, if they haven't, exposed to the bathroom, days and weeks and months, it shouldn't affect them. They should not have any mold. But just to be safe, I'm looking into getting a mold test for them as well. Because my dog passed away from respiratory and heart failure. So, and I'm guessing it was because of the mold.
Oh.
Yeah, because it was very sudden and she was, yeah. So I do want to go ahead and check my cats just to make sure to see where they are at, and maybe if they also need some kind of support.
Oh, okay. What was your doggy's name?
Oh, the dog that both of them passed away, it was Foxy. She was a small pom. She was my baby. She was my everything.
Oh.
And then I rescued from, I think it was Montebello. No, where was that? I forgot. Next to San Marino shelter. San Gabriel. Yes, San Gabriel. I adopted Buddy. He was a poodle. He was blind and deaf, and he had a brain tumor. And I remember they told me, he was they told me he's not going to survive 2 months, but he lived for 2 years with me.
Oh.
Yeah, and he was amazing. Yeah, he was the love of my life.
So cute. So yeah. I'll put them in my prayer list. I do, we do Bardo. In my spiritual community, we have Bardo prayers for people who passed to help their souls return to the light. And something that I started doing is for the animals that have passed. So yeah, I'll say a little Bardo prayer for them. And yeah, you're welcome. My pleasure. And for my audience out there, if any of you have kitties or doggies that have passed away, just email me and I'll say a little prayer for them as well. So they are our family. They help us evolve spiritually. They help us become better people. And I think it's time for us to help them evolve as well. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. And for my audience, Lital is a foster mom. She fosters little kittens. And we featured 2 of her little kittens in our recent newsletter. I think it was May. I don't remember now. But anyways, tell us a little bit about them, because I know you're an animal lover like me. And I remember during our sound bath session, one of my kitties came in and kind of took a peek in the room and see what's going on. I think you met him. His name's Theodore, my little orange tabby.
Yes, the orange tabby, but I remember another cat came in. What's her name?
Her name's Patty. She's black and white.
Yes, black and white also came.
Okay. Yeah. I was so out of it. I didn't even know. I knew Theodore, the orange tabby, came in because he would push the door open. Yes. And I knew, and the door was open, so I knew some cat pushed it open.
Yeah, he peeked in, he put his head in, like, what is going on? And just like, okay, my dad and mama here. Okay, let's go. Yeah, cute.
So tell us about the 2 little kitties that you're fostering right now.
Okay, so Zen, which I dearly love him. He's very affectionate. He's very, very cute. I work sometimes with cities on my other daily job that I do. And some guy came there with a box and he had his kitty inside. And that was a kill shelter. So everybody told him, we don't keep animal here. We just put them to sleep. we don't have the, and I'm like, please don't do that, you know. And I tried to speak with him, and I tried to give him, you know, and the city also gave them like phone numbers of rescue, maybe you can call. And it looked like he wasn't about to do any of that. So he wasn't persuaded enough. And I'm like, no, I think I'm going to leave it here. And I'm like, okay, let me just see the cat. And he was very, very tiny, skinny bones. And one of his eyes was closed, and he was very lethargic. So I opened up his eyes. I took away the stuff that was stuck in his eyes. And the minute he opened his eyes, he was like, and leaned on my, with his nails on my shoulder. I'm like, no. And I'm like, okay, I guess you're coming with me. Okay. He had full of fleas, and I was so scared. I was like, oh my God, he's full of fleas. What am I going to do? And I was in the city, and everybody was like, it's okay, let me give you a box and whatever. And no, he was on my chest, my shoulder. He didn't want to leave my shoulder and my neck. And this is how he sleeps as well today. He sleeps on my shoulder and neck till today. This is his comfort zone. So I took him home. I gave him a bath. And I'm like, okay, it's enough for this day. I can't take him to the vet. Let me take him next day to the vet. And he had a high fever, very dehydrated. And he survived that. So Blue, the day that I brought him, which I shouldn't, you know, bring it together, but he was like, no, I want to see what's going on. I'm like, oh my God, Blue, you are something. And not only he helped him, but he completely took him under his wing.
Oh, okay.
And Blue and Zen are soulmates. Like, I mean, they're the best buddies ever. They play all day long. They sleep together. They nap together. They even eat together. They do everything together. Where Blue is, you can find Zen. When Zen is, this is Blue. Yeah. And Blue came to me from my friends. She wasn't able to take care of him. And I thought to myself, okay, I would probably, and I was like, yeah, I'm going to keep him, you know. But then when Zen started to get closest to Blue, and when I started looking for home for Zen, everybody, my friends and myself too, told me that this is wrong to only adopt Zen by itself, because Blue is not going to they're just going to be devastated. So whoever is going to adopt Zen, it has to be also with Blue. Blue is he's half Persian, Siami, and half Mencon. Yeah, Mencon, I think. Yeah, something like that.
Mencon.
Yeah, Mencon. Yeah, I don't really go into those like what breeds. I don't care. But for people who wants to know, I just figured it out. His Blue is very, very laid back. Let's put it this way: if I was a cat, I would want Blue in my pack. I want to have some Blue in my pack. He is very caring. He's very loving. He doesn't like too much affection. He just likes to be the boss, to look at everything. He's very gentle. He's just very gentle.
Blue, like the big brother, isn't it?
He is the big brother. But it's so funny. Blue and Zen, both of them like to sleep on my neck, and they also like to play with my ear. Both of them. Same thing. I'm like, wow, it's like somebody put one big soul, and divide it in two with the same.
That's so cute.
Yeah,
That's so
it's
cute.
both of them are just adorable. There are times I'm like, oh my God, no, I want to keep them. I want to keep them. But I know that once my house will be more open, I know that I will be able to help. And there is one cat that I really want to help her, but I can't bring more than, 3 cats into my house because I have my own Sophia.
Mm.
So, yeah, so this is, where I'm at. Like, I really want to get them into adoption so I can go ahead and, and bring another cat, because I always see kittens and I always want, but I can't, I just can't reach out to them because I know I can't handle more than 3 in my apartment. So yeah, it will be nice to find them home. Then Blue is going to turn 2 on May 26th, I think. Then I'm guessing we guessed also his birthday. But again, it's all guessing. So I adopted him last year. That's when I found him. It was something around May 15, 16. That's when because I remember I drove to Utah. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I remember. And yeah, so he's supposed to be, I'm guessing, probably end of April. That's when he was born, because he was really tiny and it was really confusing how old he was. He could have been more, but because he was very skinny, so we didn't know. And the vet couldn't. So that's why the vet said, you know what, I'm thinking end of April. That could be, when he was maybe, I think he said something April 21st, maybe something like that, or 25th, something like that. Because I remember he said he's probably 4 weeks, top 5 weeks, no more than 5 weeks old. So yeah. And yeah, they're very friendly. Oh, Zen is very shy. But once he gets to know the person, he's very gentle and loving. Blue is not afraid of anything. Blue just go out there. I don't let Blue out just because I know if he'll see a raccoon or, coyote, he will go and play with him. So I don't let Blue out just because I know that he's too friendly and he's too trusting. Yeah.
Yeah, sounds like my little Patty. she's like that too. She's a social butterfly. So we've got a couple minutes left. I wanted to see if you have any last words of wisdom for my audience and maybe where people can find you.
Okay. The words of wisdom that I've learned is to accept, to love and accept yourself. Be patient with yourself and know who you are. Know who you really, really are. What's inside of you. And and really love and accept and know that you have everything that you need.
That's beautiful. Yeah. The only way to know who you are is to go within, isn't it?
Exactly. Yeah. And it's a beautiful journey. It's just, to look inward, you can find so much magic there and so much not too. It comes with everything. But it's just a journey, I think, that we must explore, if you want to progress, right? If you want to find true love, true meaning of life. And so
Absolutely.
that's my sweet advice. But who knows, maybe later in 10 years I will come up with it. But for now,
well, that's a beautiful message. And where can people find you, Lital?
I have my Instagram. It's called Resonance Tuning. And that's also my website, resonancetuning.net. And if you guys would love to see me play, I play this Saturday in Long Beach. You can get information on my Instagram. It's going to be a very, very fun event with sound bath and chanting circle and some kirtan singers and players and vegan food. We're going to serve vegan food. So it's going to be very fun, very transformative and fun. And to experience the chanting with sound bath is just one of the things that you truly don't want to miss out.
Sounds beautiful. Well, thank you again for joining me today as a special guest. I really appreciate our conversation together and all the topics we've talked about. And for my audience, I hope you enjoy this episode of this podcast. And we'll be back for another special guest next month. In the meantime, I hope you guys all have a wonderful month. Thank you so much. Bye-bye now.
Thanks for tuning in to the Bodega Cat Podcast. Your host, Christina Ng, will join you here again next month. Until then, have a beautiful month.